Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's episode of another nerdy talk show. 'Tis the season to be jolly and all that stuff. It's been a long weekend for me. A lot of stuff happening this week. I'm here tonight with Justin Sprower, the Concert Cruiser, and Silent Spartan X, Joanne. We're here tonight.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas indeed. So let's just start off here. Look what I got right here.
Merry Christmas!
You filthy animal.
I am holding in my hand what is this present.
From whom?
From me?
Nope. Oddly enough, it's from my mechanic.
So what do you want to tell us there, Revan?
Mick's a good mechanic. He's helped me out and repaired my car more times than you can say.
He just opens it up. It's a note that says, "Get a new car."
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if my old vehicles, he always said that to me, honestly. He's like...
It's probably a thank you note saying, your car has kept me employed.
Let's have a look. That's the thing. He's like retiring in like 4 years or 2. I know. Let's see what the guy got me. My dad...
The copy of his daughter's college diploma. Thanks.
My dad is actually friends with his wife. They used to work together at a local contracting place or something like that, and they used to... And so they visited us for the Christmas party, and we had a good time. My sister came down. Got to see her boyfriend again, Noel. Yeah, that's a joke, writes himself. So let's open this and see what it is.
Still waiting for the note that says I quit.
Yeah, I already unlocked the card. All it said was Merry Christmas and gave me a $50 gift certificate to I don't remember. What is this? What is this?
Please be anal beads.
Is this a brick? Is this a brick? I gotta throw it at my old car just to get a new one done. It's like the throw out you kind of, oh, it's a box of chocolates. That's beautiful.
The enthusiasm from this man.
I like that. I like that I got a little box of chocolates.
It's like, and it is, it's a box of chocolates.
It's a box of chocolates.
It's a box of chocolates. Believe it or not, I actually did get some cool stuff from my grandma. Like, look at this. I got this from my DSLR. It's a light with a filter.
Oh, I have one.
With a filter.
Yes.
Is this the same one?
Probably.
I don't know. I also got this cool memory card here. 128 gigabytes with 150 megabytes for speed. That's good. I need that. Beautiful. They also gave me a box of popcorn for some reason.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Orville Regenmacher. I'm thankful for it. They're my grandparents.
That's the only thing that's gonna pop at this pay-per-view tonight.
Oh yes, that's right. Joanne is out there watching the wrestling match of the century.
Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my!
No, one year they did tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
Stairs.
They legit had a stairs match. It was the worst thing we've ever seen.
How the hell do you do a stairs match?
You pin your opponent with the stairs. It was awful.
Oh, okay.
God.
Hold on one second.
Pin your opponents with the stairs.
Yeah.
I was about to say, did you get like a whole
stream
staircase or
first.
something?
Well, what are we having?
My right ear's in pain for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe you could Maybe you should
Okay.
get some eardrops, or take some Tylenol. Everything okay there, muchacho?
Yeah, everything's fine. Folks forgot that I do the live stream here every Sunday. Or
Despite us doing this for the last 3 years.
hey, they're getting old.
Fair enough. Oh my god, what do we got to talk about tonight? Everything happening there, from Game Awards to movie trailers to more movies coming out there, and to the fact that I actually got to ride Ride of the Resistance.
And I finally got to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra after like 6 years of trying.
Cruiser, what the hell is that?
This is a back scratcher.
Or it could be a butt scratcher.
Or, it could be, a crotch scratcher. Yeah. Could work there too.
Wait, is that the one with the with the monster claw at the end? Oh my god, yeah, I used to have one of those. Not good for the groin area. I'm gonna say up front with that.
It can help you get
Were
between
you trying to
the core and
scratch,
the ridge, though.
or were you trying to do something else with it?
Yeah, trying to get the between.
Yes, I was trying. Yes, Dwan, I was
ridge.
trying to take the back scratcher and insert it into the areola of my dick and just freaking. Oh my
No,
god!
I don't think that would hurt. I mean, work. I think it would hurt a lot.
You don't think that would hurt? It would.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you are. You might be used to it.
Oh my god! Moving on. I don't want to go in from there.
Well,
Okay.
I'm the anti-stream.
But anyway, Evan has been wanting to talk a lot about Rise of the Resistance for some time, so we are going to let him fangasm all over the camera.
All right, let's just talk about this thing here. So yes, I did get the chance to go to Rise of the Resistance, and where do I even begin? I might have to give some spoilers.
Before you begin, let's make sure we reiterate for people here. We are not holding breakdowns against the ride because this happens all the time with newly opened attractions.
I know, I'm gonna get to that in a moment there.
Well, it's best to start out with that.
I'm prepared to talk about the good stuff and the down stuff to Rise of the Resistance, but let me just start here. When you look at something when you look at Rise of the Resistance right now from the very beginning, one of the first attractions that was out there that was innovative for Disney at the time was the Enchanted Tiki Room, which had its first innovation to attractions, but with audio animatronics, them being the birds. I don't know if I've ever taken cruises to the Tiki Room, but you either like it or think it's charming. But yes, when you look at how far that technology has come and putting into Rise of the Resistance, you're in for something that you weren't expecting. Now, first off, I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to this thing. We arrived at the park around 5 o'clock, and there were people lined up. There were people lined up for this thing.
I'm surprised Disney would actually let attendees do that.
Well, they were lined up. They paid for the parking. They're going to line up there. They're not going to harm anybody.
No, what I mean is I'm surprised they actually even let them into the parking lot if they're not even open.
Well, they're open at that time still. You'd be surprised. Like when they used to do their 24-hour thing, they used to open the parks at 6. It depends there. They know how popular this is going to be. And yes, we were cool. We got these two guys that had that had their own homemade lightsabers behind us. It was really cool talking to them. We arrived at 5 o'clock. The park didn't open until 7. It took at 5:45 to let us through security, and we just sat there and parked. Now, going in, I can't talk about this without talking about the boarding system. People think the boarding system's unfair, but fair. I can understand to the extent I can understand what they're going for, and to those who say that they're not advertising enough. Okay. Can I go down the points here, guys? Is it right if I go down the points here? That prove my point? Guys?
That was my cat. I suppose.
Okay. First off, Disney's trying to push the app. I'm going to say that up front. They are trying to push this app. It's literally the thing that's just getting more on the information on rides and fast passes. You guys can understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's expensive to make an app.
Well, not so much there. The app is free, but here's the thing.
No, to make it, not to.
The people say here that where do we get our app? It's written on your goddamn ticket, first of all, and as well as the maps. And they're saying, well, we didn't know we had to reserve a reserve time group on there. It's written all over. They have signs posted everywhere saying be sure to sign up for boarding calls. We don't know where it is on the app. If I'm going to open the app right now, and the first thing you see is literally instructions of how to do it. Not to mention that the cast members at the resorts have been telling people about this thing, giving out pamphlets and how it works. So I'm going to say up front, if you want to go for this thing, it goes out fast. It goes out very fast. So, and the thing is, to make it fair, you can only make a reservation party if you're in the park. The moment you check in with your ticket, you're able to get a reservation time. But is there something funny?
They're finally using the KFC.
Oh.
Anyway, so we go in there, and since we're inside, we got the tickets there. I get the boarding group. We're number 21. And it's cool. They got a little pre-made loading screen and everything in there. It's good stuff. I mean, you guys are following me on this, right?
Yeah.
You go in there. They want to put it in there. It's a big ride, and they just want to kind of break it in slowly. Now, I will say up front, when we got in there, we did experience a breakdown, and it was harsh. It was sad, but the cast members did a good job of accommodating us. They played it good. good. And I know how it is when a ride breaks down. Cast members are going to people are going to start yelling at you about something that you have no control over. So I'm not going to harsh them on that, like Cruiser said. Rides break, but the cast members are trying their hardest to try and accommodate you as much as possible. But with that said, I'm just going to go on to the experience. We'll skip in that. By the way, I do want to give a shout out to my friend Aniza, who got me into Smuggler's Run. It was weird. When the ride broke down, we were going to go to Smuggler's Run, right? The line was, I think it was like 2 hours long, right? Mm-hmm. Until I hear someone say, Evan? And I'm like, what the? Oh my God, Aniza, how you doing? I'm like, she's a girl I work with in Tomorrowland. And she's like, we were going to ride Smuggler's Run. She's like, oh, how many's in your party? Here, follow me. And she leads us down there. Mm-hmm. I gave her a personal thank you because, we needed that cheer up. It was a good time. So anyway, wrong one. So anyway, where was I? Smuggler's Run. We start off. I'm just gonna go by the thing there. The story of the ride. You are underground resistance members trying to get to this other planet that General Leia Organa is at, and you gotta try. And this is a top secret rebel base you're going to. You're going from Batuu to this other place. I don't know what it is. So the mission is you're going into a ship, and are being guarded by 3 X-wings pilots. One of them is piloted by Poe, the guy from the new series. Easily one of the best characters in my opinion. And you're going in there. The ride itself, how do I even describe this? I'm sorry if I'm going back and forth on this, and if I'm not letting you guys give a chance to talk. You can ask any questions you'd like. The exterior, the ride, you've heard of course how long the ride is, right? Or
that depends. Are you including the pre-show?
Yes. Well, when I meant, let me rephrase that. You guys heard how long the experience is, basically.
Yes.
The first thing you do is you go into a room, you see BB-8 on top of this thing, and they're transmitting your mission from Rey via hologram projector, which is a good effect, simple stuff. Then you go outside, you see Poe's X-Wing on the side with BB-8 in on it. And then you go and see the transport ship in there. When you go in there, it's like a frigate. You go in there, you see the guardrails on the side. The back window shows what's going on in the back. The front window, you see the pilot and our admiral. You're going up there, and you leave Batuu. And I want to point out the good look and detail. Cruiser, you went on Rise of the Resistance with me, right? I mean, I'm sorry, not Smuggler's Run.
I was in line with you, but we were not in the same party.
Yes. When you came back from Smuggler's Run, after you do your mission, you go through the asteroid field.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're taking off, again, stop me if I'm giving too many spoilers for you. When you're taking off, you leave Batuu. You can actually see the Falcon perch there, and the moment you leave its atmosphere, you go past the asteroid field. So I'm giving that some good props to detail. So you're going there, but then you get caught by the First Order. They shoot down 2 of your X-Wings, and Poe flees for his life. He says he'll come back. Now, this is a moment when I want to give a huge commemoration to the cast members there, because they play these parts perfectly. The moment you go in, the same door that you entered with opens up, and you're in a Star Destroyer. You're in a fucking Star Destroyer. And again, this isn't on... You go in on this way, but it's the same door you came in. I don't even know how they did it. It's remarkable. I don't know how they did it. It goes from simulator to that. Then you get out there, the guy, one of the cast members says it comes in. This frigate has now been claimed by the First Order. Everyone out and get in line up for interrogation. So these guys are playing the First Order generals well. And of course you go in, you see these stormtroopers and everything. They're over there. Which I'm going to say up front, they look awesome. They sit there, they sway. It's more like a photo op area. There's a giant TIE fighter on the wall. It's so awesome. So, like I said, I'm not going to get too much in the ride, but you go down another wait thing. This was kind of one of the dull parts. You had to wait in another line, and then meanwhile everybody's telling you what to do. They're mocking you. One of the cast members walks up to me, notices I'm holding a backpack on the side, and he says civilian, why are you holding your bag like that? And I felt like this guy was going to come up and slap me in the face. I'm like, just regular cargo.
You should have.
Just regular cargo, and he phases off of me. Everybody else is laughing at him, but I kind of didn't want to. I wanted to play the part. Even my dad shouts out, "Resistance means hope!" So they put you in a holding cell, and I'm just gonna leave it there and tell you what happens. But the ride experience, the trackless system. Okay, I gotta kind of give you a sidetrack story. one of the things when I heard this ride was announced, it was the first one. It was originally going to be called Escape the First Order. Okay, so, and what I thought was it was going to be something similar to the Spider-Man ride, which I'm assuming both of you have rode.
No.
You never rode the Spider-Man ride in Universal?
No.
It's a good ride.
No.
But Cruiser, you have.
Of course.
Yeah, like, and of course, if you haven't rode Spider-Man, you've rode Transformers, which is literally the same ride. You can't deny that. Wait, did you ride? What about the Transformers ride, Juan? Did you ride that one?
I've been to Universal once, and the only thing I can remember doing was going to the magic shop.
Ugh, that's not even there anymore. But yeah, I thought Disney was going to make something similar to that, but unfortunately they can't because Universal apparently has rights to the patent of the track or something like that. So I was expecting them to do something on their own.
Well, to be fair, the Spider-Man and the Transformers ride are not trackless rides.
Yeah, I know, but they're more or less. I think they more rely on the screens in front of you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
This one takes full advantage of the space. You feel like you're running through a Star Destroyer. What's really cool is, like, you're basically in a vehicle that's piloted by a hack droid that's trying to guide you towards an escape pod. And you go through everything. Like, the first thing you do is you pass these other cars with droids that are clearly the cars going back to the loading platform, so they integrate that in there, which I thought was clever.
Mm-hmm.
You go through there. Stormtroopers are shooting at you. You get shot at by a giant Imperial Walker. You go in through the escape pod. Kylo Ren is chasing you. He cuts through a ceiling with his lightsaber. I'm like, it was all fast paced. You felt like you were there. There's a part where a window breaks. You feel the air going out. When you get into the escape pod. Oh, I'm not even gonna spoil that. The best way I could describe the ride is kind of like Star Tours with an add-on at that point, because it kind of like merges into a small Star Tours thing. But like when things shoot at you, you see like burns in the wall, like cracks, like gaps, and you see sparks coming out. And everything like that. I'm going to get back to that later. And when you leave, the exit queue is actually outside when you crash back on Batuu, which is really cool.
Well, what do you mean by exit queue?
By what? Yeah, it's like it's the exit. I thought you said execute. I'm like, what? Am I talking Pokemon here? Execute. You know, the exit turn into coconut trees for some reason. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the queue is outside. The exit queue, like the queue where you exit the ride.
Okay.
It's outside, which I thought was which has not been done for a lot of things. Like, you're literally outdoors. Like, the best way to describe it, you know the backlot tour ride that they used to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of had a reminiscent of that, which I thought was kind of interesting. The effects of the ride, in my opinion, is a major effect show. Like, the ride is fast paced. It can be slow paced. It goes from sneaky to white. Like, it's kind of like when you look like the original animated Robin Hood in a way. Like, you look at the things and you look at it's. You know, you guys know the climax where they're breaking people out of prison and Robin is stealing the stuff from Prince John.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Things, you're sneaking around, but then when the alarm goes off, you're bolting, and the whole Star Destroyer knows you're out. And yes, the effects are great. There's a scene where you look up in the air and you see Hux and Kylo Ren like talking. They don't know you're down there, like, but they could turn and literally see you. And you see all these resistance ships come out and they just start firing and they're like going after it.
Go ahead.
The Imperial Walkers. Oh my god! I think that's the scene we've all seen in promos. Is the scene where you enter the room with the Walkers.
You mean the AT-ATs?
Yeah, Imperial Walkers. That's what they're called, but they're called AT-ATs or AT-ATs, whatever you want to call there. They are life-sized. They're fucking life-sized. Like, they're bigger than my house. It's crazy.
To be fair, you do have a small house.
To be fair.
Sorry, I can't help.
It's okay, it's not good there. But, like, yes, the ride, you go up in the elevator, and these two stormtroopers are already in the cockpit, they're like they're about to do something, but then they see, like, holy shit, and they, like, shoot at you with the walker. It's kind of weird. I thought the walkers were going to move, but, you know, it's like, they're big, they're in the Star Destroyer, I'm not going to hux it against them, I don't know what they would do. But
yeah, it's actually kind of a shame because knowing about the walkers and how they're able to get those work, it's a shame that they can't get a Yeti to work.
Well,
I mean, I get it. They have to disassemble the entire mountain, but still, you think they would have figured something out.
Yeah, whatever. The ride has some good stuff there to go off of. As a matter of fact,
It really sounds like fun.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah. And then, but you know, like I said, I acknowledge that everything isn't perfect, and I did find some stuff that were imperfect.
Now, are we talking about within the story or on the pre-show or the
story
ride itself?
Well, the story itself, it's a basic story that could take place anywhere in the timeline. Like, it's just basic. You're Rebels, you're trying to get through. I'm not going to hark it as being canon. That would be like trying to tie Star Tours to the canon, which is not. And so, you know what I mean. It's basic. It's like going on like a haunted house and they're playing the Halloween theme and like, oh, where's this play in Halloween? You know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I did find flaws, but the key word here... Okay, so when I was going to talk about this ride, I was going to be fair. I was going to talk about the flaws and the perfections and balance it out. But I'm not even going to lie to you. My God, finding flaws on this ride was as easy as finding hay in a needle stack. I'm not even saying this as a fanboyism, but I found some, but they pretty much ended up being like minor flaws. I mean, like, for one thing, the queue line. The queue line has the same problem I have with Smuggler's Run, and that there's nothing to do in it. It's all claustrophobic hallways where it's like lengthy and long, but like when you look at like the new age Disney rides, they always have something to do in there. I mean, I guess you can scan some stuff, and that's fun, I guess. I mean, the app's free, and I'm not going to argue with that. Some of the effects were a little weak. I mean, like, I kind of wanted some real spark effects, and they're digital, but they're still convincing. And other times,
and I actually have something to say about with that as well when I discuss my experience, but I'll let you finish.
Like, the spark effects are okay. Like, I understand they're having real spark effects in rides like that, or usually have to be. It's an enclosed area, and you can understand the building risks. I'm not going to argue with that or anything like that, so I'm not going to hold that against it. Why am I holding this ribbon? Like, I don't. Like I said that, and I kind of wish there was some more stuff like the AT-ATs. I thought they would have had like their foot rise or something like that. But you know, it's like I said, it's the cramped space, and like I said,
go ahead. Sorry.
Like I said, the presentation was just most of the time there. Like there's the line in the middle of the experience after going on the short transport to the Star Destroyer. Like, there's a line after that, and I thought that was kind of annoying. But you know, you load it there. Like, you see where my problem is here now?
Not exactly.
Like, I'm finding flaws, but they're, like, minor.
Well, that's fine, because that's what you kind of have to do.
And, like, that...
But let me ask you this, because I do have a question here.
Yes?
Do you wish that the story did take place somewhere significant within the canon?
Not really. It's just a ride. Like, it's, like, not usually... If it was somewhere in the canon, like... I don't even know
how... Well, when I say something like significant within the canon, take, like, for example, Rogue One. That happened between Episode 3 and A New Hope.
Okay. This kind of does take place in between the canon. Canon takes place between Episodes 8 and 9.
Yeah, but you said, though, the story, though, just wasn't... It was just generic.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it has elements that are there. Like, you don't go on the Star Destroyer and, like, you don't see Snoke or something like that because, you know, he's dead, so... But, like, you know, it's basically clear. The best way to describe that is when I say generic story, it's basically you're set up for a regular ride. Like, you know, you're in like, look at Forbidden Journey. You're a Muggle at Hogwarts. You go explore it. That's all you do. This one, you're just you're trying to leave and you get caught by the First Order. You have to escape. That's all you do. It's like when I say generic, I mean like I say that towards the plot of the ride rather than the canon, really. But you can feel like it does take place between Episodes 8 and 9 in a way. I mean, they have the standard characters that you need to see and everything like that. Poe, Rey, Kylo Ren, Hux.
Is it true that Leia is somewhere on the ride?
She is mentioned on the ride. There's no physical way she can be on the ride because, you know, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Well, yeah, but I thought maybe they probably did her part before she passed.
I don't remember seeing her on the ride, but I don't think they did because they started construction on this ride way after. But like, unless it was sound bites, you know, I can understand that they did that for they might do that for the next one. But yeah, Leia is only mentioned by name for all I know, and they may have showed an image of her, but if they did, I might have missed it. All in all, like, the best way I could describe this is it was an experience. It was a real big good experience. Like, it shows how much, in my opinion, when I look at rides like this, each ride has an innovative feature, and this one, it had everything. Like, you look at how rides have evolved in the Disney parks and where they are now with Rise of the Resistance. Like, everything they can. You had like limited effects back then to kind of like make illusions, and now you have the technology to do anything you want. So if I were to give any rank to Rise of the Resistance, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
That sounds fair.
I mean,
all right.
I mean,
definitely. Go ahead.
Like, I acknowledge the flaws are minor and everything like that. But the thing that kind of holds it back is just maybe my opinion might change on this, because I actually kind of had to, because like I said, the flaws are minor in a way. So, but like I said, I would give it a 10 out of 10. But that's what I can give it some free space. I mean, when they probably do, I might switch it when they finally like stop the boarding in groups and everything like that, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, let's just say up front, the Rise of Resistance did in fact boost the crowds in Batuu. Honestly, I cannot deny that one. So in a way, I guess the ride kind of saved Batuu in a way.
Well, keep in mind, when we had our first little discussion, when I said use the phrase doomed to fail, I never meant that it was going to be flattened or anything. It was always the impression that it might just become as not as crowded as, say, some of the other things throughout Disney. Yeah, and let's see how long they can keep this going. If they do, then great, excellent. Because I've always been on the side of, I just want this to be good for Orlando's tourism.
In a way, but
yeah, that's always been my concern. And sure, I still do care about the face of some of these attractions and what they're currently doing with them. But as far as tourism goes, if it's doing good, then great. That's what matters.
So thus kind of ends the Chronicles of Galaxy's Edge in a way. We ended up going from a small unrecognized slope area to the places friggin' impossible to move around.
Now let me ask you this: would you say they should have waited to open Galaxy's Edge until they had these 2 rides done?
A little of column A, little of column B. I mean, like, they kind of want to... The way I could describe it is kind of like a wound. You want the blood kind of flows in small, but then when you unleash everything, the blood goes all over the place. I can't say that I'm mad that they didn't open with 2 rides. I mean, if they had both rides, Galaxy's Edge would have been uninhabitable at that time. My guess is they kind of wanted to, I can't spite them for, opening it up earlier. Still, though, the ride they opened was pretty good, either way.
Mm-hmm. And I've actually, there's someone that I know that actually recently went to Star Wars, and that's Charlie Worthley, who organizes 2 pony conventions. He is a massive Star Wars fan, but he went before Rise of the Resistance. In fact, he got to Disney just maybe a couple days before I did, and he definitely had fun with Galaxy's Edge, but he did think they try to overdo it with Smuggler's Run, because as I pointed out, when you're the engineers trying to go back and forth between the wall and the screen, and I still had fun, but I think they were trying to be too, I guess you could say, realistic.
I mean, Juan, when's the next time you're going to Disney World? I apologize for leaving you silent.
I don't know.
You should come up there. I will say up front, Cruiser, unfortunately, you're not going to be going into this ride anytime soon because, it's been blocked out.
That's fine. I actually wanted, I've been wanting to go to Universal lately because I still need to check out that Harry Potter coaster. Or the Hagrid coaster, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm hoping I can actually get an annual pass for Universal at some point.
That's a big question. What could be next for Galaxy's Edge? Maybe a new ride in the future? Maybe some new shows?
I'm still hoping they'll do something with the original and prequel trilogy, just because that is one thing that was consistent throughout its opening and up until now. And it's still fun. Don't get me wrong. It is still fun. However, I do think you need to try to figure out a way to work in the original cast and the original characters.
We'll have to see what happens there. I mean, like I said, it's meant to tell a certain story, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they might find a way to throw in some characters or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not want a little holographic Leia saying your name and you're my only hope?
I mean, aside from the custom name and everything like that, with their Star Tours.
Hey, Kitty.
You know what? That brings up a big question: why they didn't integrate Star Tours into Batuu? In fact, there was actually an old version. I did see the screen where you actually end the ride there landing in Batuu in the Black Spire Outpost. And anyway, we'll see what happens. Maybe we might get another thrill ride. The night show, I've heard, is really good. I saw clips of it, and it looks really nice. But, like I said, Disney is not going to be finished with Star Wars anytime soon, so we'll see what the future brings.
And speaking of that, I do know, well, at least according to Kathleen Kennedy, the Vile Witch, she actually says that they're going to step away from doing trilogies and just do, single movies, which, to be honest, I'm kind of curious to see what they can do with that.
Fair enough. I mean, I can imagine they'll revisit it sometime in the future after things get in, but they want to build a new universe, and it's cool. Which, by the way, if you want to see some good stuff about Star Wars, check out the Lore Master. He actually has some cool stuff there. For example, do you know it's canon that Yoda fought a giant mountain monster the size of a mountain, or that Darth Vader destroyed a giant shark beast while brandishing a 4-eyed alien horse and jumping in the air and slashing it from the inside of the guts? Oh my god.
I would have liked to have seen Vader's castle a little bit more.
I don't know. Based on what I'm hearing from the Lore Master's as cool as it was from the exterior, the interior, Vader's castle is kind of boring. He doesn't really do anything there. All he has is a tank and a bunch of lightsaber training areas and just a cafeteria. That's pretty much it. He sleeps in the tank, I think. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, so Evan told his story about finally checking out Rise of the Resistance, and now I finally get to talk about what me and my mother have been trying to do for I'm thinking at least 6 years, seeing Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Bum bum bum.
We have been trying to do this for a long time. It was brought to our attention when we were still living in New York, long before we moved back to Florida, and the show looked incredible. But timing and money was always an issue. But then suddenly, for some reason, all the stars must have aligned because pre-sale fell on one of my paydays, and the day of the show fell on one of my paydays. So I was able to bankroll the whole trip as a Christmas present. Now, so, and I will get to Trans-Siberian Orchestra versus a Rammstein show shortly. But first, let me just mention my experience. First of all, it was actually pretty easy getting through the venue. This was obviously held in an arena, and it was surprisingly easy to get where you needed to be. It wasn't. I don't know if it's because maybe everybody was going up towards the higher levels, and we were on the lower one. But the venue was actually very nice. The only thing I really didn't like about the venue was the fact that the merch booth was on the other side of where the meet and greets were going to be, and the T-shirts were $40.
$40 for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Juan can go to Juan, how much are T-shirt jerseys at any game you've went to?
At a hockey game?
Hockey game, sports, anything.
T-shirt or jersey?
Yes.
Which one? T-shirt or jersey?
I don't know. Jersey, I guess.
If you want an authentic, it's like $200-something.
Okay, what about a T-shirt?
$20.
Thank you.
27 at the most.
$40 for that? Come on, man. You can go to Disney World and get that shit. I can't get a cast.
Well, I think the reason why though is because there's 13, 14, maybe 15 members that are in this thing. And keep in mind too, here's something that I actually found out. If you get to perform at a TSO concert, you actually don't get paid.
What?
The people who do this actually are with other bands. They have their own projects. They do this just for the holidays, and they've even said that the show belongs to the people, which is pretty cool. So I'm guessing. Plus, the other thing too is that with music music sales kind of being on the decline, people are not making the kind of money that they're used to whenever someone would buy like a CD. So they had to jack the price up of merchandise to kind of compensate for that. I mean, this program was $20. And to be honest, though, I'm actually pretty happy with my purchase. Because as I was showing the guys before the stream started, it actually is a fold-out, and this is pretty unique here.
Oh my god, Trans-Siberian Orchestra? More like transactions are super overpriced. Is that what TSO stands for?
There'd
Merlin!
have to be an A in there, bud.
And, dude, I was respectful during your thing with Star Wars.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm just cracking
I'm
jokes.
expecting you
That's
to
all.
be respectful with TSO here.
Yeah, no, it's no problem, man. I'm just cracking small jokes. That's all.
Okay, so there we go. All right, so we got Wizard here. Yeah, that's what. This is the entire fold out here of the outside of the booklet. Now, the thing you also have to understand with TSO is that it is a rock opera. There is a story that goes with it, and the story. Well, the title of the show was called Christmas Eve and Other Stories, and everything took place in this bar. And every story they told is featured in this one little photo here, from a little girl who was given cash so she can actually go home, to a homeless person, to a man who was asking people to just believe. And the homeless man's performance really moved my mother.
Like, was it actors or was it like showing it on a screen or something like that?
To be honest, neither. What happened was that there is someone who's credited here as the storyteller. He would come out and say his lines. He would tell kind of the story, and then the performer would come out and sing the scene, I guess you could say. Because he would when I was the scene where he was talking about giving the bartender was giving the little girl cash so that she could get home. He was actually singing lines like he opened the register to give her the tender.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and I thought the storyteller must have had the easiest job, because he would get up, tell the story, and then just sit right back down on stage while the rest of the band is performing.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking, this guy must have had the easiest job ever. And more on that in a little bit.
I can imagine there's more to it, but I know what you're saying though. I can imagine it could be easier.
And
you got the lines right in front of you.
And they had these giant panels here that actually would be like sort of the sets. They would actually project the sets on these things, or it was either projection or they were LEDs, and they actually had like these three things that kind of look like pillars, and occasionally these would raise up to kind of give what looks like windows with like little sails kind of blowing in the breeze, or maybe what looked like a setting in Egypt somewhere, to even a medieval castle. Again, more on that in a little bit. But what I thought was a little funny was the drummer's drum set and the second keyboarder's keyboards were. And when it came time to lift these things up, these guys actually didn't get down from there. They're up there in the air until they're brought right back down. And the laser lights were enormous. They're reaching all the way to the back of the arena, even at the back of the arena, there was a Tesla ball.
What's a Tesla ball?
You know, like a Tesla coil?
Oh, is that like that thing where you get in the back of? I think Juan had one of these. The wizard ball with the electricity.
But the thing is that every time it was activated, it was meant to be in rhythm with the song.
Yeah, of course. They actually used to have toys like that. I actually used to have one of myself. You put like your iPhone next to the ball and it would light up as the beat goes on.
So that was really cool to see. But it was behind. but it was behind us, so we actually had to stand up. I had to stand up and point to it just so that some people could realize, like, yeah, there is something behind us going off. But still really cool and interesting. Yes, there was in fact a lot of pyro, as much as Rammstein. Again, more on that in a little bit. But it was just such, like, it really got us in the Christmas spirit. We have not felt that in such a long time because Christmas for us is not always the best down here because we just never have any money to really do much of anything. But this just it just got us in the mood again for Christmas. Now, as far as the show being a rock opera, here's actually what's interesting. The rock opera portion is like roughly maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Fair enough.
And once that's done, the show turns into just a Christmas concert.
Yeah, they have you play their famous Sweet Silver Bells song.
Yeah, and that's when I thought this was so interesting. Al Petrelli, who's the musical director for this, he's on the microphone and he goes, "Okay, so how many of you guys, this is your first TSO show?" My mom and I raised our hands. It's like, "Okay, now this is my favorite part in the favorite thing to do in the world. Repeat offenders," and like 75% of the arena goes off. And then he tells us, "Now we're going to go on with the rest of the show. And you see all this crazy stuff? The other half hasn't even been turned on yet." And that's why I went, "Oh shit!" Like, this is going to be a long night. And he wasn't kidding.
Everybody else was turned on in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
He had beautiful hair. I'm not going to deny that. That was the guy you got the picture with, right?
Yeah. That's where the fire. That's when they had the fire effects. They brought out more. They had more images up on the LED screens. They had multicolored laser lights going off, and at one point it even snowed.
Really?
They actually had. Yeah. Now it wasn't cold, so this wasn't like a snow machine they purchased.
Was it like suds or something?
It looked like suds, but after we kind of we brushed them off and smelled our hands, they didn't smell like soap.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was. My mom and I looking up, going, "What is it?" Like, "Oh my god, it's snowing!" So that was and the panels that they had hanging from the ceiling, like these things would come down and move around different angles with again different images on them.
Yeah, of course.
The only there was a few things that did disappoint me with the show. The first is that I have seen a few clips of TSO's performances, and I've always seen these platforms that were attached to cranes that a couple of band members would stand on, and then they would swing them out over the audience.
Oh.
And I was a little disappointed. Yeah, I was disappointed they didn't have those. And I found out there's actually another version of this where those same panels are dangling from the ceiling. The panels will lower, but the frames will kind of stay up there at the ceiling. And the violinists will be up there playing along while they're standing on these things. And I'm thinking, have they ever had an accident on this stuff?
Yeah, like I think Michael Jackson actually had an accident on the lift one time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember where.
I do know there was an accident where sparks went off and his hair got caught on fire, but that's about it.
I wouldn't know.
So that was amazing to see. But still, I was a little disappointed they didn't have those platforms there. The other thing is that there's a song they do called "A Mad Russian Christmas."
Oh, I've heard this song, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. However, it seems like they slowed down the tempo, and I did not like that. I like that fast-paced tempo that it has. It just kind of shows the madness of the holidays. So that bummed me out. Some of the highlights, there's a woman they had that plays the electric violin, and there's a moment where she just is walking through the crowd, like literally, like no lift or anything. There's just her walking through, playing, rooting the crew down, and she even there's a woman standing off to the side. She leans over with her camera, and the violinist gets in with a photo, and takes a selfie right
Oh
there.
yeah, they know
during
what they're
the
doing when they
concert.
do that.
Yeah, they do.
Kind of like with the friggin' Justin Timberlake in that one Super Bowl performance with the kid, you know.
Hmm. And that one song, "Carol of the Bells," they did that. They did that song twice.
Oh, it's a good
And
song, man.
yeah, it's a fantastic song.
Their rendition of that song is like their signature song.
Hmm. And going back to Electric Violinist, there's a moment where she's done. She's holding the bow above her head, and for some reason she just breaks it, and the whole stage goes up in flames.
I think it's like the equivalent of like a member of Kiss like breaking their guitar or something like that.
Yeah, like Kiss breaking their guitar, and that's when the sparklers go off.
Yeah,
it's essentially that.
Sometimes you break a guitar, sometimes you break a bow of a violin. Don't be judgmental.
And when they did the flame effects, these flames, they didn't just shoot up. They were kind of going, in diagonal. One of them looked like it was doing some sort of wave effect across the stage, going back and forth. They even had these LEDs that were kind of like in columns that would just kind of dangle from the ceiling, and they would lower them, and I think it was meant to kind of simulate rain, because they had a song called "The Storm," which is actually up on my Concert Cruiser YouTube channel. I record that entire song so you can see it for yourself, and it just really helped with the effect of rain, and that wasn't all they just did. So sometimes it was for decoration, and sometimes it served a purpose. It was a fantastic show, and turns out they actually do a free meet and greet after every concert. That's when I took this, opened it up to where it has all their players, and had each one of them sign their individual photo.
Oh my god, you got everybody. Let me hold on, put that back up. I'm going to put you on full screen.
Okay.
Oh my god, collect them all. They look like trading cards.
They do, actually. They really
look like
do.
something I would mount on my wall after getting a complete set in every McDonald's Happy Meal. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was incredible. And that's when I saw the storyteller guy and asked him, like, hey, I know there's nothing easy about performing, but would you say out of all the jobs in TSO, would you say that you have the easiest one? And he goes, no. And I wanted to kind of question him on that, because, again, he just kind of got up there, did his lines, and then would just sit down on a stool while the band was performing.
Maybe it was like, was the band performing while he was saying his lines?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, maybe it might be regarding of timing or effects artist or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, and...
Like,
and the reason why I bring this up is because it's somewhat distracting, because you got the band there who's up front doing their thing and trying to play with all the same passion that the storyteller had, and meanwhile there's this one black dude sitting on a stool doing nothing. And
I said black dude, not black cat.
Ears, man.
Dwan, black me up on this one.
And the other thing too is that when I saw him on stage, like everyone's dressed like very prim, proper, very classy. I see this guy at the meet and greet. He's got like those 1-inch thick eyeglasses.
Oh my god. Anyway, all in all, what would you say? How would you rank the entire concert? Like in the end, like.
Well, just two last things about the meet and greet. They have all the guitar players have a Tupperware bin like that deep, filled with guitar picks, and just take what you. No diving for picks, just take what you want. And they even signed the booklets of my album here, their latest album. But I don't know if they all played on that album, so it's like some random dude puts a signature on something related to what he's done, but I don't know if he's actually on it.
It's like fan art.
Yeah, so all in all, I actually have to go with the same score that you gave for Rise of Resistance. It's a 9 out of 10. Despite my flaws, there's still so much that goes into it. It is so fantastic. It really puts you in the Christmas spirit. And they do this every year. This is a tradition. So I don't know how much longer is left on this tour. So next year, people, when they do this, you have to go. Tickets are like $80. They're not that bad.
Whoa. All right, so you've heard me talk. You've heard Cruiser talk. Now it's Jawan's turn.
And what's he going to talk about?
Jawan.
Oh, well,
Sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
I was
no.
trying to get you to talk. I was asking you questions anyway. We've been yapping on enough. It's your turn to yap and take the microphone. After that, we have our huge cons.
what am I even talking about?
Gaming awards.
The Game Awards.
All right.
I got it pulled up if you want me to bring up the nominees.
I got it. All right. So, what day was it? Friday, right? Yeah, Friday.
Or was it
So
Thursday?
the game was it Thursday? It might have been Thursday.
It was Jablonski that said it was Thursday. Cruiser, did you read the chat? Did you say it was Thursday?
That I can't recall.
I can't remember what. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, because I closed it. Right. Yeah, it was
That's
Thursday.
right.
This past Thursday, it was the Game Awards, and I was watching it at work. The orchestra, obviously, at the end they do their little medley of all the games that are nominated for Game of the Year. Green Day performed, and for some reason they decided to flip off the crowd, and we don't know why.
To be fair, bands do that
Quite a
constantly.
lot, yeah. This band called Churches was there. It was kind of a weird thing. Elon Musk was there.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk was there. I don't know why. Reggie was there, which was my favorite part of the whole show.
Reggie Fils-Aimé?
Yep.
Oh my god!
Kidding.
Papa Reggie returned, boys and girls.
Like, we haven't
Everybody-
forgot about you.
He got the biggest cheer of the night. It was almost like the Undertaker just walked out there. That's how loud it was for him.
Nice. Everybody knows the Reginator.
I kind of felt bad for Doug Bowser because Nintendo had won something earlier tonight. They were like, Doug Bowser, and it was just like,
It's my
Poor
last
guy.
name, isn't it? We love Doug. I love Doug Bowser. I can't deny that. I mean, he has the best last name ever. So fair
but,
enough.
yeah, so then other than that, it was like a lot of commercials, and it was an alright award show. I don't like award shows, but I didn't mind watching this one.
With the exception of the Kids' Choice Awards, he goes for that one once in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was like years ago. I used to like the Kids' Choice Awards, but now I don't.
He'd be the guy on the TV saying, "I want a kaleidoscope blimp."
Somebody has a picture at the pay-per-view. You know that meme of like the 3D Joe and the kid crying at his monitor or his computer or whatever?
Yes.
Somebody printed out a full picture of that at the pay-per-view. Why?
Anyway,
So,
Game Awards.
Real quick, I'm just gonna run through the stuff and the people who won. So they had the AR VR Game of the Year, which went to Beat Saber, obviously. Which also Green Day announced that they're doing a Beat Saber pack.
Well, I don't know.
Which I was kind of,
Alright.
Have you ever
Okay,
played?
Devin.
Are you a VR gamer?
I like it. Not a lot of people like it, but I actually like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Depends on the area.
Yeah, it went up against No Man's Sky, which we never talk about that game. Trover Saves the Universe, which I'm surprised got negative reviews because there's a lot of, it's made by, the creators of Rick and Morty, and I'm surprised it didn't get that far. Blood and Truth, which I never heard of, and Asgard's Wrath, which if Beat Saber hadn't have won, Asgard's Wrath was going to win. And then they did a strategy game of the year, and my favorite game, my game of the year, won it, Fire Emblem Three Houses. I was very happy.
I didn't see you much as a strategic gamer, honestly.
It's my favorite game. It had one of the best stories out of all the games that came out this year. It had the best story. It hooked me in. I was feeling every moment of that story. I loved it. But we'll go into that when we do our top 10 of the year later on. And then they did sports racing game. FIFA did not win, ladies and gentlemen. Crash Bandicoot won.
What?
Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel won sports racing game of the year.
Didn't Crash Team? I'm sorry to interrupt you here. Didn't Crash Team Racing like start getting like reverse reviews after they started doing microtransactions?
It doesn't matter. They won.
Yeah. Let's hope you got it before it won, because now it's gonna be more expensive. So there you go.
And then for best score in music, oh my God, is it really Bray Wyatt coming out? For best score and music, it was Cadence of Hyrule, Devil May Cry 5, Death Stranding, Kingdom Hearts 3, and some other song I never heard of.
Oh my God.
Yes, it actually is Bray Wyatt. It is not The Fiend. I'm sorry. This is awesome.
I was hoping for Cadence of Hyrule to win that one, honestly.
Death Stranding won. Kojima said, "I'm not coming all the way to America to not mollywop y'all. I asked our friend Darren this. I was like, do you think Kojima just like turned around at Tetsuya Nomura and just mollywopped him like, be humble? Because Kingdom Hearts 3 was a train wreck. The role-playing game, which Kingdom Hearts got bodied through everything that night. Role-playing game, Final Fantasy 14, Kingdom Hearts 3, Disco Elysium, Monster Hunter Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds. Disco Elysium won. So Kingdom Hearts didn't even get any love for that.
Well, at least I got nominated at least, you know.
Yeah, Performance of the Year goes to Mads, I can't even pronounce his last name.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mikkelsen. He played Cliff in Death Stranding. Best ongoing game went to Fortnite.
No! Of course it did.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Six Siege or Final Fantasy 14 should have won. No, best narrative of the year goes to Disco Elysium.
Fortnite.
Never heard of it. No, but best multiplayer game between Borderlands, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Tetris 99, Tom Clancy, Division 2 went to Apex Legends.
I thought that was my votes were on Tetris 99, especially since they introduced that new mode with team battles.
Oh yeah. Mobile game of the year, Call of Duty Mobile won, which is actually really good. Independent game, Disco Elysium, they won a lot.
Yeah, they did bring in a lot of gold tonight.
Games for Impact went to this game named Gris. I don't know. I never heard of it.
For a thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, the Woke Awards. Okay.
Yeah, which I'm surprised Life is Strange 2 didn't win because everybody loved Life is Strange.
Yeah, I know. I heard it was a good game. I've heard a lot of people going like, Life is Strange.
Game direction, Death Stranding. Again, Kojima said be humble. Fresh indie game, or for Disco Elysium. They took home a lot of gold that night.
But Untitled Goose Game didn't get shit.
Fighting game. All right, and this one's gonna be some
moving on. Anyway,
some time for this.
Can we move on from fighting game? I mean, like,
I have to say it, dude. So between Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mortal Kombat 11, and Samurai Showdown, somehow Smash Bros. Won. Which the fighting game community let out one collective loud because the fighting game community shuns Smash Bros. And does not consider it a fighting game.
I'm gonna put a huge here, just like
for the Nintendo Award, which was the ongoing joke that night. We called it the Nintendo Award, but it really was a family game. But all the games came from Nintendo. It was Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Luigi's Mansion, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Yoshi's Crafted World. Luigi Mansion won, which cool.
It's a good game.
Esports theme goes to G2 for League of Legends. Rest in peace, San Francisco Shock for the Overwatch League. I was pulled for you guys. Kyle Buga was Esports Player of the Year. He's a Fortnite player. Esports Host. I've never heard of this chick, so we're just going to move on because there's a lot of categories. Esports Game of the Year, League of Legends. Golf.
Surprised Fortnite or Overwatch didn't win that one, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Overwatch, well, the problem is, like, also 99% of India plays in Turkey. All of them play League of Legends. Esports event, League of Legends, again, not the Overwatch League Grand Finals, and I was pulled for that one because it was in Philly. Damn. Esports coach, some guy, content creator of the year, Shroud, rest in peace, because you moved the mixer and your view count's awful. Community support game went to Destiny 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Destiny 2 won something.
Oh my god.
Audio design, I agree with this one, went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I heard the audio in that one was pretty good.
It is.
I could feel like that gun sounded like it was really shooting in my room.
Yeah. Art direction goes to Control. I can see that because that game actually has a really interesting concept.
Yeah, of course.
Action adventure game goes to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's a pretty fun game.
Damn.
Action game, Devil May Cry 5. And then game of the year went to Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. But they did a player's voice game of the year this year.
And it's not on this.
It's on another page. The winner of the player's choice game of the year went to Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Very good.
So, you know, my boys are Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
And all this led up was for a trailer announcing the X Brick.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, that's right. They the Microsoft decided to make a PC tower for some reason.
I'm calling it the X Brick. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm calling it a PC tower because that's exactly what it is.
Or you can call it
I
a
like
piece of
Xbox,
shit.
that's
But yeah, you know,
funny.
what is it? Xbox Series X?
Yeah, Xbox Series X
I don't know
or
the name
Dos Equis. Oh, we could call it the Dos Equis.
Oh my god.
Is it? Because it's double X's, so
Xbox Series Multiply.
multiply. But I'm happy about the player's choice for Fire Emblem winning that because that honestly deserved to be in the running for Game of the Year, if not Game of the Year, because it was a very, very fun game. The story was amazing. I was hooked. I've played from its release in July all the way up to while I was in Japan, and I'm still playing it to this day.
I'm surprised.
And that's staying. Oh, go ahead, Evan.
I was gonna say I was surprised Resident Evil 2 didn't walk out with anything. Honestly.
Me too.
I mean, I guess it's like the fact of being nominated just to be there and see it in person must be amazing.
Oh my god.
Something I said.
Yeah, other than that, the performances were nice. I like the little medley that the band did. Vin Diesel and the chick from Fast and the Furious came out and announced their game that's running off of a PS2 engine. Because that game looks awful. It literally looked like they built it off of a PS2 engine.
So I wonder if they built off the same engine that made the Fast and Furious ride. But
Oh.
Well, Vin Diesel was there, so you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. Vin Diesel was there.
But no Keanu Reeves.
But, you know,
No,
Vin's
Norman
actually,
Reedus was there.
Yeah, Vin's actually changing his name to Vin Ethanol.
So Norman Reedus was there, Keanu
Vin
Reeves
Electric.
wasn't.
Yeah, well, Norman Reedus had to be there to kind of, not promote but represent Death Stranding with Kojima,
Oh my god, you were the chosen one.
And somehow Ninja got a seat behind Reggie. I'm still trying to math that one out. Because
oh my god.
I feel like Ninja doesn't deserve a seat behind Reggie.
God,
But other than, it was,
Reggie needs to get a Let's Play channel, hands down.
he does. Reggie needs something. But other than that, it was your average show for nerds, A lot of bad jokes and stuff. But they kind of flew through the speeches and stuff.
Oh my god, that's just crazy, man. It was a good Game Awards, till next year.
Till next year, which again, congrats to the people at Fire Emblem and the players, kind of saying, hey, this is the one that should have won Game of the Year. But also congrats to the makers of Sekiro, that it was a very fun game to play.
I hear you. God, I was over there, but yeah, like I was saying earlier, Tetris 99 released a new game mode. It's called Team Battle. It's literally, you guys have played Tetris 99, obviously, online. It's you versus 99 other people. In this mode, it's the same concept, except you have to choose a team, and your team has to take out all the three other teams.
Right.
So and it's pretty much the same thing, just with more people now, and the game goes faster and harder. I'm going to say that up front. You look at that stuff, and then there you go. There's a Bulbasaur on my printer, and it's staring at me.
But anyway, there's actually one thing that I want to discuss with people now that I've seen both TSO and Ramstein, and that is who has the bigger, better show. Now, I will say I am not going to be doing this comparison with Ramstein's current stadium tour because that is extremely massive, way more than TSO has. So what I'm comparing it to was their arena tour when I saw them back in 2012. And I gotta say, yes, while Ramstein does have the bigger show, it's still apples to oranges here because one is meant to be is a Christmas rock out. The other is like an edgy Cirque du Soleil. Both of them play heavy metal, but one is way more complex than the other. Ramstein's music is very basic. It's like anybody can actually play this stuff. It's pretty easy.
Huh?
Pluck a string. You played Rammstein. Press a piano key. Rammstein.
Hold on.
Hit your pen against a glass like this. Boom. Rammstein. You sneeze. Boom. Rammstein.
One has a darker tone. It kind of gives that feeling of testosterone. The other is more meant to feel enlightened. So I don't think it's really a fair comparison here because we're talking about two different things. While definitely the Rammstein show did bring out, that inner, like, yeah, that badass feeling. As I said, TSO made me feel enlightened and, ready for Christmas. So all I can say is just see them both. Just see them both. Because they're two big shows, but have two different purposes. It's kind of like if you ever seen people kind of compare the remake of a movie to its original, you're dealing with the exact same movie here. One's just done differently. And these are not the same. These are two completely different things. So it's a tough decision to call.
I used the stapler. Was that Rammstein I heard? Sorry, go on. I'm just kidding with you, man. It's the way you said it. I drop it on the table, yeah. Rammstein. I'm not gonna stop. Just a warning there.
Good job, Vince. Good job. Oh my god. You actually did something right for once.
What?
Good job.
What
Vince.
is it? What is going on? What's Vince? Who's Vince?
It would be a very long story.
Vince Appleton from school? That dick?
No, Vince McMahon. What is happening?
I don't know. You were talking about Vince McMahon for a second there.
Damn, Brian.
I like to picture what he's talking about right now. Vince McMahon, some guy named Brian.
Basically, Vince McMahon's being a Peter Griffin's dog.
No, it's weird. All right, so all right, there's this wrestler named Bray Wyatt, and he's had this cult following and this fan base that he's loving them, but it's been very crappy. He hasn't had the good creative. So he went away for a little bit, and around the Royal Rumble, they had what was it? It was a vignette of like this dollhouse, and then like this buzzard would pop out of a box, and we didn't know what it was for weeks. So then this thing came out called the Firefly Funhouse, which was Bray Wyatt, and he's like this like psycho sadistic, guy hosting a children's TV show, but it was actually teaching like child lessons and stuff. So then finally this one day before Money in the Bank, he goes, well, you don't have to worry about this. I have a lot of darkness still left in this noggin, but I know how to harness it. Do you want to see it? So then he introduces this separate persona that he has named The Fiend. And tonight is the first night they actually showed separation between Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. Because Bray Wyatt just wrestled a match, not The Fiend. And then they had The Fiend pop up on the screen. So it was good storytelling. They actually did good storytelling to end out the year for WWE.
Juwan?
Which is something that's hard to come by for these last couple of years for them.
Juwan talking about wrestling, Rammstein.
Yeah, you're Star Wars. What's the difference?
Rammstein. I'm hearing you, man. I'm glad you're having a good time with that with your show. Is this the official final match of the season?
No, it's just the final pay-per-view of the year. Because next is the Royal Rumble.
I didn't even know pay-per-view still existed, honestly.
Yeah, they have them once a month every Sunday, or one Sunday a month.
I always thought it was just digital cable. I'm gonna have one of these chocolates. There are two, and I didn't hear. Oh yeah, that's right. I ate them. What's this one here? It's square. Why do all fancy chocolates have to come in square?
I don't know, but I always hated the Valentine's Day gift boxes of chocolate.
Hey, everybody hates the Valentine's Day tart hearts, so
No, you know what I hate? I don't remember the name. Ferrero Rocher or whatever. It's like the chocolate that's like wrapped in the gold stuff.
Oh, I'm so delicious.
I hate those.
Why?
They're disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Are we talking about those little ball things?
Yeah.
I like those.
Oh, they had the nuts.
I hate them. They taste.
You hate nuts?
I prefer tacos.
Touche. Hey, Juwan just blacked you up on that one.
Wait, that didn't work that time.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that didn't work, Evan. That didn't work.
Evan failing, Rammstein. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Frickin', it's a good thing I didn't go ahead and post up that Secret Santa idea, because then I would have Now knowing that Cruiser would probably send Juan like that Christmas tree filled with them or something like that.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been. Except knowing you probably wouldn't eat them now. You'd probably just go outside and like throw them at somebody or something like that, John.
No, I'd probably pelt John's car with him.
It's not Hoagie. It's not.
I would
like...
break into his car and like leave them under his seat, but then I'd have to pay to get his car detailed.
Yes.
Anyway, so moving on. There's actually this new band that I've been listening to for a little bit, and how do I describe them? Well, it's 3 words I never thought I'd use to describe a band.
They like Windex?
Mongolian folk metal.
Oh yeah.
Mongolian.
And they're called The Who.
I've heard it. They popped up in my YouTube recommended the other day.
Yeah, it's literally just the HU. So it looks like it says like The Who. So I'm like, is that how you pronounce it? Like, and no, like just listen to how they say it, and it's like, oh, who,
the Who,
like,
the Who,
like,
Adam the Woo.
It's
Who.
I have no idea how you pronounce it.
It's like a caveman. Who, or like Tim Allen, you know. I bet Tim Allen could say the band's name right. You know what I'm saying? Tim Allen saying band names, Rammstein.
That's gonna be a gift with you, or a meme.
Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just for the night, though.
Oh, did you guys talk about what happened to iDubbbz?
What?
I'm not done yet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, I was just wondering.
But anyway, they actually did a collaboration song with Jacoby Shaddix and Papa Roach called Wolf Totem. And I gotta say, the mixing on that song is fantastic. I have seen Papa Roach many times. And the singer has a lot of high impact energy. Like, this guy, like, there's only 11. That's exactly where his meter starts, 11. But however, because these other guys are, again, Mongolian folk metal, it was mixed to the point where he does not overpower them, which is good, because subtlety is the main thing with these guys. And not to mention, they actually do that Mongolian throat singing thing that...
You sound like Carl's mom when she's sleeping on Jimmy Neutron.
So great band, check it out. It's called The Who, or The Who, spelled H-U. Check out their song Wolf Totem with Jacoby Shaddix. You will not be disappointed. It's epic as fuck.
What if you say it like The Who, only it's, remember, it's like who? It's the... or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. Juwan, you were saying about iDubbbz.
Oh, no. Did you guys want to discuss what happened with iDubbbz recently?
What happened to
Well, I don't
iDubbbz? Who is iDubbbz?
How do you not know who iDubbbz is?
Because I am not a person.
That actually
Hey.
answers your question.
Yeah, actually, fairly well. So, Susan decides, and we're not on YouTube, so we could talk about this now. This is great. Susan, you know, the fearless leader of YouTube, decided to get her panties in a bunch about something again. So iDubbbz does this video series called Content Cop, where he critiques other YouTubers. He's done Rice Gum, Leafy. I think he did both the Paul brothers, and something else, and someone else I can't remember.
Oh, this guy I think I've heard of. He's not in the same league as Leafy, is he?
Huh?
He's not a dick like Leafy, is he?
iDubbbz?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, now I know what you're talking about. I think I'm Gamer from
No, yeah.
Mars.
Yeah, he did the content comp on him. But YouTube decided to say, hey, no, critiquing isn't, critiquing is bullying and you can't critique them. And I was watching Critical, which I don't know if you guys know who Critical is.
Not so much.
Yeah, he's another YouTuber, and he was like, critiquing YouTubers, critiquing other YouTubers is actually good because there was channels like Daddy05 or whatever it was, where they were like abusing their children on camera, and nobody did anything until YouTubers started talking about it.
Yeah, or Ryan's
I remember
World.
that story.
Or Ryan's World, exactly. But no, Susan was like, "Well, no, it's bullying, so you can't do it, or we'll delete your video."
If that's the case, don't put a friggin' comment section in any of the videos. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, it's a little cop minion.
Yes, he used it. It's a little cock minion.
It's a long story. We gotta show it to Cruiser afterwards. But yeah, if that was the case, then why did they put a comment section in the lower section?
Well, the thing is, yeah, exactly. Like, why? So now you're telling me that you can't critique anything.
Secondly,
So-
if that's the case, then why has Leafy still got a YouTube page?
Well,
He
Leafy.
doesn't use it anymore, but you know
Well, Leafy also
what?
doesn't use it anymore.
Is he still on YouTube, or is he
He doesn't post anymore. He just
died?
yeah, he just kind of retired, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I took all my money. I'm doing stocks with it now."
I don't know whether that's smart or not.
Well, he said he's not coming back to YouTube because of just all the changes they're going through.
He'll be back. They always
Probably.
come back.
But yeah, it's like that yeah, so apparently now you cannot critique anybody. It was the retweet you retweeted of John Tron when he said, "How can YouTube still walk with them many times as they shot themselves in the foot?"
I didn't retweet that.
Or you liked it or whatever.
I don't remember. I don't think I know what I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, John Tron commented on it. But anyway, you can't critique people on YouTube apparently.
So this means I can't make fun of Brawny Buck for the rest of the day, my life.
Well, I mean, if you make a video on it, no. And it's not like Leafy went, you know what, screw you iDubbbz today. I just finally feel like having you take down that content cop of me. No, it's just YouTube and their out of touch moderation team doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, what Juwan is referring to is what's called commentary channels. People who will read off some piece of news that's been going on, be it in
Hold on.
like movies, music, theme parks, TV shows, games, you name it.
Hold on.
Even things that are here on that are there on YouTube, they'll talk about it and just kind of give their commentary on it. And they seem to be going after a lot of commentary channels because they're going to have for this actually all started when Steven Crowder from Louder with Crowder
Actually,
went at
speaking
What?
of which, Leafy did respond to this.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
I'm looking at a thing. It was made by a guy named Tommy C, who said, "I've spoken to Leafy is here. He is shocked on iDubbbz. Quote, fuck might be a bad might be bad GL to him. I mean I know we had beef, but it's all a part of that genre at the time." That's what I'm hearing there. So Leafy did in fact respond to that. Some jackass just playing video games. I don't know if Cruiser's seen Leafy's stuff or not, but you know.
No, I'm just familiar with the commentary channel stuff.
Yeah,
But I also have to, and I actually have to wonder what this means for FNGR.
Or anything. Like, what happens if you critique a video game and some company decides to get butthurt about it and they tore my game a new one? Oh, you're bullying the creators of that game.
It's hard to say.
So, in other words, YouTube is going to continuously shoot themselves in the foot and not bleed out for a while.
At least not until they get a new president or something like that. Like, being your mind, I don't
Not
think...
gonna be.
We'll see what happens there. I mean, like, they gotta put something in there or something like that. I don't know.
Anyway, in other news, Orlando MegaCon has announced their first few guests.
Yeah, they announced it earlier, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they got several of the
Halflings.
hobbits from Lord of the Rings, as well as a reunion of the cast of Steven Universe, which is not really a reunion because the show was still on the air.
Yeah, it's more or less a reunion, but more or less like a hey, how are you? Hey, I remember you from the last con we went to.
Pretty much.
I hate when people do that. I mean, like if you didn't see him for years, like if they had like a reunion of Guns N' Roses, which they did, that would have been awesome. But no, I don't think they need to reunite. I mean, how old is Steven Universe right now?
The character itself or the show?
The show.
The show.
Not even 5.
I would say 5, actually.
Oh my god, I didn't. I would know. I didn't really see it. I mean, like Juan saw it. I think. Were you a fan of Steven Universe?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, dear
hear,
God, no.
I mean, I didn't hear. I didn't hear it was bad. I heard it was okay, but you know.
I was. I liked it at first.
May 21st, 2013. That was the first episode's date. May 21st, 2013.
Yeah, so it's 6 years old.
Yeah, I was a fan for a little bit, but I quickly got over it. Didn't really do much for me. Not to mention, like in the early days of the show, his voice was just really annoying. I'll never forget too. Like he was trying to watch Pearl and Amethyst fuse because he just wanted to see him turn into a giant woman. And he just would not shut up about it. Like, kid, you're being attacked by a monster. Now's not the time.
I mean, hey, you got to get off anywhere in any way you can, right?
Was that a sex joke?
Yes.
You know what? I can actually picture Steven having that kind of fetish. But yeah, his voice got really annoying over the time, and I just haven't really looked back since.
We're just gonna see what happens. There with YouTube and everything like that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Like, so the entire cast of Steven Universe is going to be there.
I think just the gems, if anything, because I haven't checked.
I mean, I've seen the voice of Steven. I haven't met him personally, but he was at Holiday Matsuri last year.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go this year. Okay, I got a story for you guys. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Oh wait.
Maybe he doesn't.
Hey, how are you all doing? More love. How you doing? So my story was this weekend was Holiday Matsuri. I couldn't go.
Why is that?
Because I had to spend time with my sister here, and yeah, it was a good time. Really was indeed. Indeed. Hold on, Juan, can you talk about something? I gotta send a quick message to somebody, please.
I have nothing to talk about.
Okay, well then
Juan, I don't know. Justin, sing something.
I actually got the remake of the Medieval game for the PS4. That's been a lot of fun. I was a fan. I actually didn't play Medieval when it came out on the original PlayStation. I played it when it was on the PSP, and that game was a blast. It really was. I think it was also one of the few games I ever 100% completed, or at the very least, I got all the chalices for the Hall of Heroes. And what day? Yeah, and I just lost my train of thought here.
Something about medieval games in the Hall of Heroes.
Okay, yeah. There were some people in the Hall of Heroes that I don't recognize. I have to wonder if they made, they maybe introduced some new things, some new heroes. But the graphics are an incredible update.
Yeah, I mean,
they really are.
Catacris did a review of it, and like I never played the medieval games, but I thought the old PS3 graphics were just funny. I like how he moves like all fidgety and still is able to control on. Not to mention the Frankenstein zombies move like that thing from Big Hero 6.
Not to mention also the fact that Daniel Fortescue, he doesn't have his lower jaw, so he just talks like.
Oh, Sir Daniel Fortescue. Silly. I'm turning 35 tomorrow, and I have a new child. Oh, congratulations on more love.
Awesome.
Congratulations on what?
On more love. They're turning 35 tomorrow, and they have a new child.
Who is?
On more love in our chat room.
Ah, okay.
I have good news.
Congratulations from all of us here at Shadowside Studios.
All three of us.
I have good news.
Yes?
I reached gold in Overwatch after months of almost breaking my fist against my desk.
Yay! He did it! Ladies and gentlemen, he finally reached his goal in Overwatch. Congratulations.
Yep, my SR for tank is 2071, which is pretty good. Not too shabby.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I don't know what that means, but nice.
It just means I'm an alright player. Not
Sweet.
bad, not good.
I'm just an alright player.
I'm just in the middle.
Slightly above average.
Yep, there you go.
Also, something else that we want to mention. I don't know if I've actually got a chance to see this before we went live, but cute. I checked out the My Little Pony episode of The Toys That Made Us.
Oh boy, here
or
we go.
Built Us, whatever, on Netflix, and all I have to say is, poor Bonnie. I feel so bad for her because here's the thing. Yes, she is the one who came up with the My Little Pony franchise. Well, sort of. There's kind of bouncing information over who actually created it, but everyone just seems to recognize her as the creator. But either way, she originally came up with the concept. It was called, My Pretty Pony, and she wanted to be as horse-like as possible. And she didn't want to have, those, pink, pretty pastel colors like Evan's waving. She wanted them to look just like regular horses. And her response to her boss who said that was, "Get out of my office." And they said, so they came up with this idea. They said, let's put it to a vote. Let's make, we'll do 6 of each. 6 of the real-looking horses or ponies, and 6 of the pastel colors. And the pastel color ones won by a landslide.
Of course.
And Bonnie's like, what are you gonna do? You can't argue with kids. And just before My Little Pony takes off, she quits Hasbro and gets for a contract with Parker Brothers.
Yeah, she's the one that brought us Mr. Potato Head. Why wasn't she credited with that in the movie?
She didn't create Mr. Potato Head. She just updated his look.
She created Mr. Potato Head. There you go. What did Mr. Potato Head look like before his look got updated?
I don't know. Just look it up, dude. Anyway, and so she comes up with another toy idea that she thinks is going to catapult into things. It does not. It was a flop. She missed the boat bad, and I feel so bad for her. I mean, because she doesn't get any residuals. No.
Holy shit! That's what he looked like. My God.
What?
I just looked up the original Mr. Potato Head looked like. My God, I gotta look at this again. Oh my God. Oh, jeez, that's disgusting. That is disgusting.
Okay, now I have to see
Hold on,
this.
I'm gonna post a picture of it in the N.T.S chat. You guys have got to see this. I'm not even gonna show this to the audience. Oh my God.
That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it looks so terrifying. Look at this cruiser. Look at this. This is Mr. Potato Head before Bonnie updated it.
I'm trying to find a picture. I can't find
Ants
shit.
chat. Look at the Ants chat.
Okay, let's see here. Ants chat.
Oh my God.
That was him?
Yeah, that's Mr. Potato Head, man.
That's not a potato head. That is a Muslim extremist.
Oh my God, no.
It is. It really is.
It looks like Osama bin Laden.
Kind of does, actually. But he's
Oh
not. Is he a
my.
potato?
Talk about a little snack bar, am I right?
Apparently, it looks like. I'm sorry. I need to look at something here. Was the object you had to go into the kitchen, get a potato, and use that?
Maybe.
Like a potato gun? You ever used a potato gun?
No.
Wait, here's another. Okay, this one just looks racist. Yeah, this is another original Mr. Potato. This one just looks straight up racist.
Let me see.
What on earth am I looking at?
Looks like Steve Harvey.
It looks like Steve. It does look like Steve frickin'. What's with his yellow frickin' Freddie Mercury-esque shirt?
Hold on. I don't know what I just found, but this is kind of creepy. I'm gonna post it in the ends chat.
That kid in the background doesn't even know what to make of it. He's like, I guess I'll pull off your nose. I want to show this to our audience, but I'm pretty sure I'll be sued for something, so.
I forgot.
Yeah, people just Google original Mr. Potato Head.
Cruiser, you made me look this up by talking about ponies. Come on, man, why?
There you go, Evan.
What is it? What is in the ant chat?
Yeah.
Is that a pepper, Mr. Pepperhead?
I think it is. It's like a carrot.
Oh, they have a nice hat. What the
Potatoes.
hell? It's like that one scene in Toy Story 3 where he became the tortilla.
Oh yeah.
Release
Can
the
you
tortilla.
Can you imagine if this was the look that was featured in the Toy Story movies?
Which one?
Pick one.
I kind of want the first one.
The one with the white face. Yeah, you could see Dom Rickles saying something like that. There's a show for you. Original toy designs. This is Mr.
That is too much.
It's like, here's
It
the modern day
honestly-
Mr. Potato Head. Let's see what you look like back that YouTube has removed the video.
Oh my god, that looks
You see,
so horrible.
they got it wrong. We found the real Osama bin Laden right there.
Mr. Potato
Mr. Potato Head was behind it all.
Oh my god.
I knew it.
God, I am going.
That damn toy caused 9/11.
God damn it, Rick and...
Yeah.
God damn it.
I
Dom
knew I
Rickles.
couldn't trust that bastard.
Dom Rickles, why? Oh, I apologize.
Never trust a potato.
Prepare to meet Mr. Angry Eyes.
With Mr. Explosive Vest. Oh my god, that is just nightmare.
You might turn
Can
me
you
into
make
a hot
something like
potato.
that, Evan?
Wait, what?
Evan, can you make something like that,
I don't want to do it.
please? Just
What
with
do you
him
want me to
screaming,
do?
"Aloha snack bar." I don't know, dude. Just as long as you use the phrase "Aloha snack bar," I don't care. Cause he's a freaking potato, and now we got this whole storyline of Muslim extremist
Oh my-
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh my god. What, is this like the new BertIsEvil.com thing? Except it's Mr. Potato
Yeah.
Head. Remember that
It's
shit?
like the new
Wait,
Did
is
you
that
guys see that movie that was in everybody's recommended, the Bean movie, whatever it was?
B-movie?
Killer Bean.
No.
It'd be like the new
No.
Killer Bean.
Actually brings up a good question. Is BertIsEvil.com still a thing? I gotta look that up real quick. And to do that, I gotta go to the full desktop screen. To it! Da-da-da.
So,
Is Ask Jeeves still a website?
I don't know. Let me see here. I'm trying to go to Google, but it's too full for there. Let me see here. Bert is evil. I'm afraid what's gonna come up. Bert is
Fucking
evil. Ugh. There's a Wikipedia page to it. Wait. Where's the website? Let me see. He offered the website to anyone there. As a result, dozens of mirrors appeared, including the website's popularity and visibility. I don't know if the website's there anymore.
so basically, it's a creepypasta now.
Oh, nope, here it is. BertIsEvil.tv. I wonder what's going to come up.
What the heck is happening?
Apache is functioning normally.
What is happening?
I think this is it. Apparently, according to BertIsEvil.tv, Apache is functioning normally. Well, that was fun.
What is happening?
What
What?
are you laughing at now, Juan?
It's just this random backstage fight happening. These guys are sitting there talking to the camera. Then
Well, that's
this
what's
fight
happening.
randomly breaks off into the background. It was random. It had no direction, no reason, no nothing.
You kept saying what was happening. You just explained what it was.
They have Christmas shirts now.
There's something I want to see. Wrestlers in Christmas sweaters. Come
I
on.
got Bray Wyatt.
Would you totally want to see a wrestling match where they're wearing nothing but ugly Christmas sweaters?
They'll probably do it next week.
Yes. I totally want to see that. One of which has like an internet meme on it or something like that, like the troll face.
Okay.
Look how happy I am.
So, but also, what this show explained to us was the whole thing with G2 that our fans keep trying to correct us on. They did show, the toys, and yeah, the cartoon that we refer to as G2 is not. It's still part of G1, but we have been saying this for a while now, guys. We consider My Little Pony Tales to be G2 of the cartoon series.
Then we kind of just don't care. So there you go.
And there's that excuse too. So
Why would I want to make sense of a cartoon about talking horses?
exactly.
I mean, look what it is.
So,
I mean, if I do that,
Okay.
look what happens to me. I end up growing up looking like Cruiser. So there you go.
oh, the weight's coming. Trust me. You're going to get fatter, Evan.
Yeah, I gotta lose weight next year.
Soon, before you know it, you won't be able to see your penis.
Who says I can't see it already?
I don't have that problem, even though it's 2 inches from the floor. How you doing?
Oh!
That is actually a joke from Ron Jeremy too.
Is it really?
Yeah, like he actually tried doing a stand-up comedy career, and he goes, "Yeah, people keep asking me how big my penis is. I tell them it's 2 inches from the floor."
Which is weird because he's a short dude, isn't he?
Yeah, and he is totally Jewish. And to be honest, I actually kind of feel bad for Ron Jeremy to some extent because he is actually a talented man. He can play classical piano. He was trained in martial arts, which one I can't remember. And the only reason he actually got into porn was, well, first of all, it was by accident. Basically, an ex of his took this Polaroid of him and submitted it to Playgirl magazine. And and his dad was at work, and a bunch of his female coworkers were coming up to him going, is that your boy? And his dad comes up and goes, hi, my son, if you want to do this, that's fine, but please keep the family name out of it. Yeah, because his full name is Ron Jeremy Hoyt. So he just calls himself Ron Jeremy. That's his stage name.
Doesn't Ron Jeremy sound like some sort of weird, like, sandwich or like a steak or something like that?
You know what's weird?
Ron
It's because it's because he's using a first name as a last name. That's why it sounds weird. Like Peter Chris.
Did you ever hear a Ninja Sex Party story about Ron Jeremy?
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have not.
tell me if I'm wrong about this. Like, they were performing, I don't remember where, but like, it may have been the House of Blues last show with Steel Panther, and Ron Jeremy was backstage and he wasn't supposed to be there, but they tried kicking him out, and he's like, "But I'm Ron Jeremy." You know, it's he was just bragging about how Danny said he was so tiny.
So is Danny Trejo.
Yeah, he is. I've met Danny Trejo. He is short.
As well as Seth Green.
It's so weird when you find out the people that you admire are shorter than you
Yeah,
are.
Seth Green's just adorable. Like, I want to, like, he's so short, I want to adopt him.
I remember seeing this stand-up comedy midget named Brad Williams. He
You told me this, yeah.
Yeah, he told people that, I can get away with anything because I'm adorable. And,
Wait, does he have the voice and everything?
no, he actually sounds like a regular grown adult man.
Oh, yeah, because
You think he is Hornswoggle?
What, I've met...
No,
I've
he's
met,
not Hornswoggle.
I'm talking about... I've met midgets that have the voice.
I know, he's like, does he have the voice like...
No, he doesn't.
He's
does
like,
not have
but he
a
talks
voice.
like this.
Yeah. He has used that voice, but no, he doesn't actually sound like that. But the guy is very hysterical. He was telling the story of he and his buddy went to a McDonald's just get something to eat, and this McDonald's had a play place, and this little kid takes a ball from the ball pit, walks up to Brad, and just throws it at him in the restaurant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so Brad and his buddy, who's like 5'10", they go out to the play place, and apparently there was a security guard for this thing. Only in California.
Uh-huh.
So he stops his friend and goes like, "No, sir, you can't." Looks at the midget and goes, "Yeah, you can go in." And he sees the kid running through the tubes. He's like, "Bitch, I'm a midget. I excel in that shit." And so he's chasing him like he's Mario. And the dad comes up after him, right behind him. And he can see his buddy in the windows going, "Let's see what happens." And the dad, finds them in the tube, and he's yelling at his son, like not screaming and yelling, just like, "Why'd you do that? That is inappropriate. You are not supposed to do that." The father grabs the midget, turns him around, and goes, "I wasn't expecting that," because he has a full-grown beard, and he's clearly a midget, and he looks back and forth at the midget and his son. He goes, "I can do nothing for you, boy. You're on your own." Because he knows if he hits him, that's a hate crime.
Oh my god.
And then some friends of his actually dared him to steal a box of Lucky Charms from a grocery store.
What?
Yeah.
He said he didn't have the voice or anything like that.
He doesn't. He just has the height. It was either Lucky Charms or Keebler cookies. And so he goes to the grocery store. He has the box perched up on his shoulders. And some clerk goes, "Excuse me, sir. Are you going to pay for that?" He goes, "Nah, man, my family makes these." And he let him go! And can you imagine what he must be thinking? It's like, yeah, he's here doing quality control. I can't stop that.
Well, that guy was definitely fired, I'll say that. It's like, what was I supposed to do? I mean, like, he made a compelling argument.
I would love to see that too. I would love to see the reaction on people's faces watching a midget carry a box of Lucky Charms through the grocery store.
Wasn't there a Juan, didn't we have a teacher that freaking Juan, what was the name of that teacher in high school that was the couple? He had like the cane.
What?
Do you remember that one teacher that had the cane? There was a couple that was working at the high school we were at. One of which had a cane because he got into a ski accident during one of our the old ski trips. Was it Mr. Mal?
Dude, I don't even remember ever having a ski trip.
Well, the thing was, apparently this wasn't our ski trip. He had it from it was like a past injury. Like his wife works at the same school, and apparently when their first date was at a midget toss. And the teacher confirmed this one. Wonder how many midgets we have offended in this.
I don't know, but
I don't know, but offensive is funny.
Fences are funny.
And I remember our old friend Kuma-chan from the days of the gala. When we were doing a meetup, I actually saw him, and he told me that if he had a midget friend, he said he would give him $1 for every midget joke he makes.
He'd pay for it.
Kuma would give the midget every $1 that for every joke Kuma wanted to make about midgets.
Oh my god, did I ever tell you Kuma in the story of me at Holiday Matsuri?
No.
Okay, I gotta tell you this story. I'm gonna be vague about it, but my buddy, we were in a convention, and we were in the 18 up area. It was curtained off, and we were just looking around there until he just grabs 3 books. Books. He's like, "I'll take this, this, and this." I'm like, "Come on, don't you want to know how much those are?" And he looks to the sides. "Evan, who are you talking to?" I'm like, you should know me by now. The guy's freaking rich. What?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Well, I knew that, but I'm just wondering, what's the humor part of the story?
He didn't. It's never mind.
Or the point at all.
Just to emphasize, never mind. You missed the point of the thing I was trying to.
I was eating at a restaurant yesterday, and this dude was wearing the watch, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye, but I got a full glimpse of it. This thing had crystals and everything on it.
Why?
So we finally decided to ask the dude. He was working there. So we finally decided to ask the dude, can we see the watch? Because I wanted to take a picture of it because this thing looks expensive. He got it from his fiance. It's a $90,000 watch.
Did you get a picture of it?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Put it in
of
the ants chat, man. I want to see this friggin'.
It's a $90,000 watch. I was like, that watch is worth more than my car.
See, if it was me, I'd be playing smartass and just go, why?
Yeah, it's like when we at Disney World, we get people that lose like jewelry from Tiffany's. I'm like, why did you bring it to a damn theme park? Why would you ever want to bring that to a damn theme park?
I took my watch off immediately because I was like, I got put in my place by a watch.
Oh my god! You gotta show us pictures of this, man. This would be awesome.
Here you go.
Oh yeah,
What's
ants
up?
chat. Let me see. I'm gonna go to the ants chat here. Hold on, I have to go to the. I'm trying to, but it won't let me change. Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ!
Is a night, and then on the other hand, he had like
This guy was ripped.
like a nice like diamond bracelet. Like his fiance spoils him, but I was just like, dude, that watch is $90,000. I've never seen.
That's just.
I don't think I've ever been around anything that was worth 90,000.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I mean, that's
I
a
died.
that's a huge question there. What is the largest amount of money you have held in your hands in bills?
Say that again?
What is the largest amount of money you have ever held in your hand in dollar bills?
$3 whole dollars.
No, it doesn't have to be anything huge. Like, it doesn't even have to be yours. It's like, you know.
I'm going to say $500.
I'm gonna say 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000 for me too. Me, Bruce, Parliament House. We won $2,000 at the Parliament House, man. Nice. And the room has gone officially silent.
Just a Twitter notification from Will.
I'm in a comp game.
Anyway, okay, so Evan, did you get a chance to check out that episode of Toys That Made
Yeah,
Us?
I did. I thought it was cute. I like the documentary style and how it made them like look like they were verbally communicating.
Yeah, and not only that, but also all like the sound effects were in there to make you feel like you were a child playing with toys again.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like that. It's like that's one of the things you would ever think of, like going back and making something from your childhood. I like that. It was a good documentary. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm. But I still feel so bad for Bonnie. Like, but like she, and the other thing too is that she didn't think that My Little Pony would even sell. She was convinced that girls, are not into this kind of stuff. Or not into these kind of toys, I should say. She said, girls were into like cooking and cleaning and doll toys. And
Same.
you're into those toys?
Oh yeah. I love cooking.
Yeah,
cleaning
Juan.
toys.
Yeah, Juan's got to get his baking skills on. You know.
Yeah, dude, I have like 7 easy bake ovens. No, I'm kidding.
What if you could run a legit business with just?
I keep putting them in the oven and they keep melting. I don't know what's happening. I'm not doing it right.
That's because you need to wait and put the pot in last.
Oh.
Can you make pot cookies?
Then I stick the whole thing in the oven.
Can you make pot
okay.
cookies with easy bake oven? That's a Google question right now.
I have an arrow garden. You can
I
grow-
cook pot in an easy.
I have an
bake
arrow garden. I
oven.
can grow pot out of it.
Anywho, but yeah, she didn't think. The only reason why she went with a pony toy line is because she remembers she wanted a pony when she was a little girl. So okay, she tried that. She didn't think it was going to work. It did. She didn't think girls would like the pastel colors. They did. And didn't think it would last, so she left Hasbro. It's like she has made 3 bad decisions in a row.
Do you think she ever thought something and then just did the opposite by this point?
I have no idea. I should like if I actually knew all this information before I got to interview her, I would have asked her that. I would have asked. I would have asked her.
Wakes up one day. I'm gonna walk to work. Nope, I'm driving.
Yep, you can do it. You can make pot brownies with an easy bake oven.
Same.
Look at this, Cruiser. This is what the result's gonna be for pot brownies.
That look. What kind of an amalgamation is that?
Next time you see the episode, I'm gonna have you're gonna see just like stacks of easy bake ovens behind me, like the entire background, just me in front of a bunch of easy bake ovens box. I turned out fine. Like the entire stream, it's just me doing this.
It's each stream you go, the number of boxes increase.
That's the goal of last year. Like, you see one on the bed, then there's just another one every single stream until there's like, you see like a suit of armor of easy bake oven boxes.
And then 1 week they have to disappear.
Yeah, 1 week they disappear, and then there's like, you like hear a knock on the door, knock, knock. What is it? Did you order a couple, like 300 easy bake ovens? Yeah, no, get out. Evan, and one of you is like, Evan, you didn't need to buy more than one oven. Don't tell me what to do!
Yeah, Evan's new cosplay is going to be Mrs. Fields.
She has some banging cookies.
Oh yeah, she.
Yes, she does.
You can smell that aroma all throughout the mall.
Either that or Cinnabon.
Cinnabon, man, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, what events do we have coming up next? We obviously got Christmas coming up, and I will be working.
Oh yeah, that's right. Next weekend next weekend stream is going to be the Hanukkah Christmas special.
Yeah, I'm going to be working. Sorry.
So will I.
And I'm not gonna be here.
Where are you going to be?
Sitting in my chair. Not doing anything.
I'm going to be sitting at Disney Park working from noon to 6. Please.
Hey, it's a living and it's more money.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. That's just how it is.
I mean, I can't. We already had a Christmas party. We had a little bit of a Christmas.
Oh yeah, Evan got hammered last night.
Yeah, I know. No, I didn't get hammered last night. But I mean,
Fire
I've had Christmas already. I mean,
extinguisher.
dude, have you seen these chocolates?
Like Evan is sending us all like these drunk messages.
I sent you drunk messages last night. Well, I wasn't drunk. Okay, let me just clarify this. Last night we were having we were having a party at the house, and we had all this vodka, all this rum. So I made a couple of rum and cokes, and I had like beer after beer, and I was just woozy most of the time. Like I was just socializing. I was just like this. I wasn't piss ass drunk. You were the one that was talking to me. But yeah, I remember. I looked back at the message like, oh my god, there are so many text errors here. I didn't wake up with a hangover.
No, you weren't drunk. It's just a normal night.
I mean, I didn't wake up with a hangover, so you know, drink responsibly, kids.
But I'll never forget. Like I get this message from Evan, like 5 Jack and Cokes, 4 beers, and my response, and a partridge in a pear tree.
I showed that to my.
Therapy?
I showed that to my dad, and he thought it was fucking hilarious.
And a bar. It's kind of like my dad used to have this.
And a
t-shirt.
bar stool in the pear tree.
My dad used to have this T-shirt that said 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor.
Floor.
Yeah.
Same.
and after every word, the word gets blurrier and blurrier the further down it goes.
Yeah, I've seen other things that are like the green eggs and ham beer shirt. I do like beer. I can drink it in a house. It's like friggin' thank you, slammed I am. Slammed I am. I just got that one. Did you ever notice that? I was actually looking. A clip from Green Eggs and Ham came up on my related videos, and it shows the yellow guy getting interrogated at a police officer. And apparently, Sam I am is a wanted criminal.
Awesome.
I'm like, dude, Green Eggs and Ham took a dark turn. I'm gonna say that.
I have not seen that Netflix series yet. I just finished the Dragon Prince, fantastic show. It's actually one of the writers worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Awesome.
Now I want to see more of the toys that built us, and then I'll probably check out this Green Eggs and Ham thing.
It's probably gonna be really like kids thing. It's like clearly mundane. I mean, like Green Eggs and Ham, man. How do you make a series?
I don't know. I mean, Like I got some joy out of Transformers Rescue Bots and Rescue Bots Academy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Better rescue bots than go bots.
Yeah, not to mention that character Whirl is just adorable. She, in a way, she kind of reminds me of Yona with all the enthusiasm.
Yep, he does have a lot of enthusiasm there. I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't be able to argue against it or anything like that of that mad nature.
But one of the rescue bot recruits is a big fan of Bumblebee, and the second he sees him, he goes, "Beeblebum? I mean Bumblebee." Okay, it's time for the final five.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what my favorite Transformers name is? Final Five-atron. God, I gotta turn the volume down on that thing. I apologize. Final Five moments is when we talk about the final five things about Final 5 minutes about Final Five shit. Juwan, you're going first, and you're gonna love it. And your time begins now. Juwan, that's your cue.
I know. I'm dramatically drawing it out. Hello! After a brief hiatus of frustration trying to get these videos to work, I'm going to work back on Worth the Hack. And I have to whip John into getting back onto this podcast. The end.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Well, that's what the end usually indicates.
Or it might be that, or maybe it might just indicate that the object is the thing. You know, either way works. Okay, Justin go.
Okay, I have 3 scripts for Hoof Rock done. When Evan is finished with making this video for Bruce, he's going to focus on this. And I am looking to be doing a writing session with Keyframe as we're going to look at Bab C, because apparently the original version of that song was a Beatles sounding song, and instead we got Katy Perry.
Is that all you guys?
Yeah,
I hate
not at all. I'm also going to be putting a bunch of stuff up on my eBay store to still help get me to BabsCon for to be a community guest there, and there's even going to be a mention of it in the video. So, going through my collection of various things to see what I can sell, what I'm comfortable with getting rid of. Goodbye. And we will definitely be keeping all of you guys posted.
Time.
I mean, could have gave him a little extra time because there ain't nobody else here.
Nah, I got it right when he ended. It looked like, unless that was wrong. In which case, sorry, I apologize. I'm not looking that good here.
Ooh.
I guess that means to me. Apparently, Juan went ooh.
Yeah, so just bash your head into a whole thing of chairs.
Yeah, you do that. So my turn. My God, Cruiser finally sent me my lines, so now I can finally resume on working on this episode. But like I said, I got 2 videos I gotta do for Bruce, both of which are demo reels, simple stuff, whatever. Then I'll do Cook Rock and then seriously see what's going on there. You might need to notice there might be a little bit of a change going on with Ants next year, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another.
There is.
Day. You'll see. It's the cosmetic stuff, formats, hosts, food, alcohol. The usual stuff.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah. You guys don't watch Letterkenny, so you guys wouldn't get it.
Just because I'm part Canadian doesn't mean I don't get phrases.
No, Letterkenny's a show.
Ah,
Featuring Canadians.
of course they do. So
Not the
that
hockey
said,
team,
oh,
though.
forgot to turn off the timer. So then again, thank you very much again for another episode of Another Nerdy Talk Show. I am Evan. That's Juan. That's Concert Cruiser. This thing on my microphone's Fluttershy. That's a star on the stocking Christmas tree. I just realized I forgot to turn my Christmas tree on this entire stream. Son of a